Good morning. I'm Reverend Karen Einhaus. I am the spiritual leader of this amazing community. Look at this. For our beloveds online, almost every chair in here is taken, and I am only going to speak 2 hours today, so you get to go to the vendor sooner. I thought that was nice of me. All right, we are in Stewardship Months. What does that mean? Stewardship for us means we are going to let the world know this is my spiritual home. I want this work to continue not just for another year or 5 years or 7 years until I go to retirement, or no, I want it many, many decades later. I want my grandkids to come here and be a part of this thriving community. That is the vision, yes? And so that is why once a year we come together, and for a whole month we focus on and we give our attention to stewardship. We let the leadership council of this organization know this is how I intend to support this community next year. We call those intentional giving cards. And I'm going to go up here because we have received 88 intentional giving cards, yes. And then this morning, I received 1, 2, 3, 4 more, so we had 92. Now, some of you are saying, wait a minute, Reverend Karen Russo said something. She said when we hit 100, she is going to jump up from here all the way up there. So 8 people at least come see me today. We want to see you jump, Reverend Karen. So as you can tell, if this is your first time here, we do love to have fun. We believe that this thing called life is to be lived joyously and outwardly, and we create a dance here at the New Vision Center. So our monthly theme is dancing with the richness of life. And then in the first Sunday of this month, we learned about the mindset, right? We learned about how to expand our consciousness to receive the good that is everywhere present. And then Reverend Leslie last week beautifully talked about how to uplift and support our abundance team, those people that are close to us. And she brought this idea of visioning to us and deepened into it. And I love the synchronicity that there's a class starting on that. And so this Sunday, today, we're going to expand a little bit further out. And we are going to go ahead and have a look at this dance with the riches in community. And so the title of the talk is The Dance That Is Me, or The Dance We Are, which I decided on whenever I made that slide. The dance that is me, the dance that we are. That makes sense, right? The dance that we are. I want everyone to know that there is a dance going on here at the New Vision Center every day of the week. Every day there's something happening here. And it reminds me, I don't know if you ever had that experience, but I remember when I was in school, I heard there was a dance going on, but nobody invited me. Have you ever had that experience? That you felt like something is going on, but I am not part of it. And our teaching and the work of New Vision Center is really to understand that we are invited. We already are. Each one of us is invited to step in, to sign up, to go to the dance. The invitation is coming from within. And if you are waiting for an invitation, beloveds, here it is. You are invited. Yes? Yes. Each one. Yes. And so what we really are doing here on the platform and 52 weeks of the year is to come up with programming and ideas on how we can formulate that invitation to your highest and best life in a little different ways. That's all we do. That is our work. Reverend Leslie and I, we come together and we ask ourselves, how can we formulate it a little differently so that we can help and support our beloved community to get into harmony with spiritual laws? Because that is when the magic happens. Now, in preparation for this talk, I came across a quote from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. And it says, "Miracle is the revelation of laws we do not yet comprehend." Isn't that good? Goethe, he knows his stuff. Miracle. And we can think about different words. If that word miracle doesn't work for you, you can think about coincidence, surprises, awe, things that make you go, wow. The reason why that happens is because sometimes we have not fully embraced that spiritual law. I'm going to give you an example. I have been, in preparation for Stewardship Month, I have been working with the work of Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Lots of positive affirmation when you go to sleep and all of those things. And I loved it. And then I come home about 10 days ago, 3 envelopes in my mailbox, the snail mailbox, where the actual letters come. A personal tithe that brought me to tears. Gifts, money. I got new boots that somebody gave me, and a jacket. I was like, where? I literally said, where's all this coming from? And then it wasn't until that evening when I religiously listened to my Joe Dispenza affirmations, and I was like, oh my God, that is where it's coming from. And so, I so love to share these experiences because what we are hoping happens in those beloveds who listen to us here and online is that they say, that you say, that's for me. I want to experience that. And so, I invite you to just take a moment and feel inside of yourself when you hear somebody tell their story. We just heard from Sally, that inspirational share. When you hear that, without judgment, does it feel like, oh, if only I would be younger or taller or blonder or whatever, that would happen for me? Or is it, oh, I'm so happy for them, and I want that also. And beloveds, that is the very moment, and only you can tell what is happening on your inside when you see any good out in the world, any success. If we are able to claim it for ourselves and to be happy for that person, it is ours. It is coming to, it cannot not come. Double negative, I know. It has to come. It has to come and be made manifest in our lives. I'm just so excited. I'm so stoked. So let's talk about those laws, right? What are these laws? Oh, okay. Well, there are the answers. I was going to do a pop quiz, but this is a pop quiz where you already see the answers. But let's talk about a couple of those. When you think about spiritual laws, what comes to mind? Maybe close your eyes and don't look at it. What comes to mind when you think about spiritual laws? Law of attraction. Yes. So the law of attraction says, like attracts light, like attracts like. The energy and vibration that I put out into the world comes back to me. Now, often, this law is a little misunderstood because people believe, oh, I just say, I have $1 million. I have $1 million. And you know what the law responds to? It does not respond to our words. It responds to our vibration. It responds to what I am vibrating out, what I'm believing, what I am knowing without a shadow of a doubt. Think about the universe as being hard of hearing. When you have contact with a person who's hard of hearing, they don't hear your words, but they might read your lips or they feel the energy. So, universe is hard of hearing. What does that mean? If we want to engage with the law of attraction, we have to find a way to vibrate love, peace, joy, grace within and put it out, and it will come back to us. Great one. What else? What other law? Say it again. Cause and effect. Thank you so much. Cause and effect. Sometimes people refer to that as karma, right? The idea that every action has a corresponding reaction. I will say that again. Every action has a corresponding reaction. Now, it's not immediate, but it takes place in the seen or unseen. If we get to a point where we believe that law as we believe the law of gravity, that what I put out, I will receive back, our life improves. So it is cause and effect in the seen and the unseen. All right, what else? I love that one. The law of correspondence, also known as Hermetic law, right? As without, so within, as above, so below. There's a whole study we could do. Reverend Leslie could do 3 weeks on it. I could do a week on it. Yes. So what's important is to make space in our belief system for these laws. Study them. Do a Google search. Find out, get interested, lean in with curiosity so that you can really vibrate those thoughts. The way we look at here at the New Vision Center on the community level, we really think about and have a lot of conversation about which way do we want to take this teaching? What do we want to focus on this next coming year? And all of those things. And one of the things that I have been thinking about, I would like to do a little poll if you're all ready to provide some answers. My question is, and online, I think you can go ahead and put it in the chat if you're locked in. So here's my question. Did you find new thought because you heard about the teaching, or did you look for community? So if you heard about the teaching, maybe you saw our beautiful painting out in the hallway, or your aunt had a Science of Mind magazine. So did you find new thought first, or did you look to deepen into it? Maybe you heard a Wayne Dyer presentation on PBS or something like that. Or did you look for community? Okay, so can we have the slide of the beautiful tree up, please? Thank you. Who deepened into New Thought because they heard about this teaching and they wanted to deepen it? Interesting. Great. Okay. And then who was looking for community and found New Thought? Oh, interesting. All right. Okay. Okay, follow-up question. If you were looking to deepen into the community, did you find it, or if you were thinking of deepening into the teaching, did you find this center, was New Vision Center the first center that you found, or was it another center? Maybe a Unity Center or some other center? Or it was in a different geographical area? So here's the question. Was New Vision Center the first center you ever set foot into a New Thought Center? Few. Great. And then who came through a Unity or a different center in a different geographical area? Wonderful. Well, thank you. Thank you. This is wonderful to see. I love how we are all connected. And so you can tell we all came for a different reason, right? And I think what we found is also very different. For many people, I was just at a convention at Unity Village, and people there who knew of the New Vision Center had this one woman, and she said, "Oh, I heard you're a very welcoming crowd." I'm like, that is what we are known for. We are known for to be a center that has open arms and welcomes everyone in. All right. So those are some of the things we are thinking about as we lead this community. I wanted to get to one more thing, and I just looked at the time. I know I said I would keep it under 2 hours, so I better get going. The book that inspired me this month is The Power of Giving. The Power of Giving. These two authors, Azim Yamal and Harvey McKinnon, do a fabulous job making a great argument why giving is so beneficial. It has health benefits. It has benefits in literally every area of our life. And so we can utilize giving, which primes the pump, right? It primes the pump. And so one of the things that I was reminded when I read this book is about paying it forward. And they say, paying it forward, the ability to stimulate others to give was dramatized in the movie Pay It Forward. Who knows about that movie, Pay It Forward? Oh, quite a few people, yes. If you remember in that movie, a 7th grade student had an assignment, and he came up with a concept that literally would change the world. And the concept is this. If one person will perform 3 acts of kindness, and rather than expecting the 3 people giving assistance back to them, ask them to pay it forward, these people will each help 3 more people in whatever way they can. How many people do you think have been helped after when 3 others do this every day for 2 weeks? So it ripples out exponentially, right? How many people? What are you guessing? 1 person? How much?
2,000.
Oh, good. Yeah. What else? Other numbers? 2 million. Other numbers? Higher?
3,000.
Million? 3 million? How about 4,782,292 people? I just want to say, let's do this. Let's do this. Take whatever we want to give, whatever we want to share, and they give some examples. love, laughter, knowledge, leadership, hope, time, money, skill, health. And we can add compliments, encouragement, friendship. Let's find something we want to give and let's pay it forward, or as we like to call that here at New Vision Center, ripple it out, right? We want to have a ripple effect. And thank you for having that slide of the Women's Connected up. That is the example that works for me when I think about a ripple effect. About a little over 2 years ago, Renee Perdue came. She was sitting right where you're sitting in a chair, and I think it was Reverend Leslie gave a talk, and in her talk she said something like, if you hear it, if it calls on you, it's yours to do. And the next day, Renee came into my office and told me she wanted to start a women's ministry, a Women's Connected here at New Vision Center. And so we did what for 3 months? We visioned, yes, because we actually really do that. So we visioned for 3 months, and this concept became clearer and clearer. And in January of last year, we had the first Women's Connected, and it has been growing and growing and growing. And we just had it yesterday, and there were 35, 40 women there. Wonderful. A ripple, right? But here's what I want to tell you. Reverend Michelle Medrano, who used to be the senior minister here before she went back to Mile High, she heard of that concept and she said, oh, I like that. I'm going to take it with me. Another ripple. And she brought it to the women's ministry at Mile High, and they liked it so well, they started doing the same thing with small groups coming out of that ministry to connect and support and be with one another. And then, when I was at Unity Village, I needed a ride to my hotel, and so I connected with somebody who had a car, and we are sitting in the car, and you know what she tells me? She's part of New Vision Center, not New Vision, of Mile High, and she is in one of those circles. And I was like, ripple! So, think about it. Take a moment and think about the ripples you have started in your life. Just give yourself some time and recognize what has come from you, how you see it rippling out in the world. For those of us who have kids, it's sometimes a little easier because we can see it in them, right? We see the good that we brought, and we see it perpetuating in them, how they, maybe how they parent their kids. And it's for everyone. Each and every one of us has something that you started to ripple out. Every morning, I invite you to think about it. What is the ripple that I want to focus on today? And then go into the day. Pay it forward. Dazzle someone with your smile. Pay a truly felt compliment. And allow yourself to witness the ripple. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of this teaching, said something in 1918, in his book, Love and Law. He says, to become alive and build the greatest life, we must become something more. I believe what that means is we are already full, whole, and complete. We must reveal more. We must trust more. We must live more of who we are. There's not a day in my life, he says, that goes by that I do not take the time to unify myself in my consciousness with big things, to think I'm one with all activities. That is what I was talking about earlier. When you hear somebody saying something, when you see somebody maybe on TV or a best-selling author, or you just see somebody living the life you would like to live, to say, that's for me. That's for me. And to vibrate that energy. And so the dance is happening here. This is one dance you can show up for. You can participate in. You can find with which flavor works best for you. I believe that here at the New Vision Center, because we not just speak love, but we live love, where our hearts beat in that one rhythm, where our dreams are collectively brought forth. There's a dance taking place here, and each one of you is invited. And it is my greatest hope that you say yes. That you say yes, and that miracles or normals happen in your life. And so the invitation for this week is to collect evidence. Collect evidence. There's nothing more powerful but for you to realize, I engaged in that law. And look, it showed up. I am so grateful we're doing this together. Thank you. And now we are going to do what we love to do here. We are going to anchor all of this in prayer. So I'm going to invite every practitioner, minister to rise up if that feels comfortable here in the sanctuary and online, and just holding this elevated consciousness, this space. And so we just take a moment and recognize that there's one power, one presence. It is the allness of life. It is God's Spirit, first cause, infinite intelligence, whatever word works for you. We just allow ourselves to consciously step into that awareness of the good that is bestowed upon us every breath, every moment. Recognizing the infinite of love and peace, of grace, of harmony, swirling in and through and as us. We take a moment and allow ourselves to feel that connection, to be lifted up by it, to feel the safety of this now moment. And in this space of deep knowing, we simply place a word into universal law. I bring in all of the beloveds who have placed a prayer request into our prayer ministry. All beloveds who have a prayer request on their heart that hasn't been yet articulated. For I know without a shadow of a doubt that the divine is for us at every moment. It says, yes, my beloved, yes. And so this is a word to get our small nothingness out of the way, so that we may be vessels of the divine in ever greater ways. How grateful, grateful, grateful I am to know that this is the truth, that this is how life works. And I invite each and every person in it to claim this truth for themselves as we say together, and so it is.